Thanks for coming out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So horny to be here. So horny to be here.
Welcome to Somethin Crunchy, the Valley's #1 comedy entertainment podcast. Biscuit is homies with Blake. Blake is the older brother of Blair. And Blair is married to Biscuit. Here are your hosts, Cullen Blake with Blair and Tyler Dressel. Welcome to Something Crunchy. I'm Cullen Blake. With me, as always, Blair and Tyler Dressel. We got a fun one tonight. It's the 5th annual Crunchies Awards show presentation ceremony.
Yeah!
As always, we got blitzed at the pre-show party. Tyler's donning his brand new crotchless tuxedo. I like the three-piece.
Thank you.
What is this, satin? Everyone's looking sharp. We have a great show. It gets better every year, and there are some fun awards to give out this evening. We will cover everything from the back half of 2023 to the front half of Drake. Lots to get into. Let's dive right in and present the first award. This one has become somewhat of a personal favorite. The year's worst movie to put on during a date. Here are the nominees for Mood Killer of the Year. Poor Things. Emma Stone's character tries to commit suicide, gets Frankenstein back to life, goes from peeing on the floor like a child to quoting Emerson 10 minutes later. What am I watching?
Whoa, wow.
Even though she has the brain of a fetus, she has the sexual appetite of a bear in heat. And we see her bang dudes missing parts of their face, a guy with a hook for an arm. Even Mark Ruffalo bangs her over the Ruffalo's back and under the frozen people. As Blair put it, it's a serious take on The Animal with Rob Schneider. 3 out of 10 soft peens agree. Spaceman. Adam Sandler losing his mind in space while his marriage is crumbling on Earth. Not a very Happy Madison production. Zero comedic Sandler, not even Uncut Gems or Spanglish Sandler. This is your somber Sandler at the very end of a rom-com where he confesses his love. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. There's your classic huge spider manifesting his inner monologue. It's your intergalactic choice for Buzzkill of the Year. Maestro. Bradley Cooper wrote and directed one where he plays a famous conductor. It makes you want to Netflix and pill. Anything to numb the boredom. 3 minutes of music in a 3-hour movie. This thing has been killing boners all year. Your erection depression. Quiet on Set. Let's bring a little nostalgia to date night. Well, this one doesn't just stop at destroying your date. It will destroy your childhood. It's 4 episodes of what the actual fuck. That coffee's too dark for date night. And it's hard to beat if you're looking for a strong over-the-counter mood killer.
Wow.
Last, we have The Iron Claw. You remember the end of A Star is Born?
Yeah.
Well, instead of ending the movie that way, they end each act that way. Not even a Buff Efron or Jeremy Allen jacked could distract you from how horribly sad the story was. For every scene with wrestling, there's a death in the family. It's a coming-of-age story, but no one will be coming for ages. Do not recommend. All right. For me,
For you.
I feel like it's Quiet on Set or Poor Things.
Obviously Quiet on Set.
Just seeing Dan's face.
There is a small chance that one could still bone after a viewing or partial viewing of Poor Things. There is no chance that you could bone
Correct.
after even one episode of Quiet on Set.
You can even have like a little like depressed sex with Spaceman.
All right, so unanimous for Francis on Quiet on Set?
Quiet
I
on
wish
set for me.
Maestro was like a little bit more exciting. Like you can
Sounds terrible, but
honestly, but boredom, that's what the sex is for. That's like why you're watching on a date, because it's like, yeah,
good
let's
point.
just start, like,
Blair. Point Blair.
start touching each other and get over this thing.
If it's too interesting, you don't want to watch it.
Quiet on Set, it's like turn the shit off and like let's get out
You
of this
feel
room.
dirty. Like you
Yeah.
don't even want to like think about sex after
Like, I
watching
need a
that
drink
show.
and like not with you.
Yeah.
Well, this one should be harder to determine. Let's present the nominees for this year's Cringe Award.
Oh gosh.
So much cringe this year.
Corey Feldman, the comeback king, still hasn't quite come back, and it's been a cringy year. Wendy Williams.
Oh.
She had that 2-night special on the Cringe Network. Tom Scandival, Vanderpump, Cringe Rap Supreme.
Yes.
That chick that said she looked like Megan Fox. We collectively cringed on that for a week or two.
Oh my gosh.
And Conor McGregor in Roadhouse. He could have been worse, but not much.
You didn't like those cheeks?
I actually think he was the best part about that movie. So that's
Stop it.
Stop it. That movie was a fucking train wreck, dumpster fire from the beginning. He was the only thing that kind of saved it for me.
I have the complete opposite.
Really? You thought everything else was
I
great?
felt like everything was kind of decent with the exception of some cheesy lines, and Conor McGregor just came in and cheesed it up. Cheese House.
You liked the script, did you?
The Cheese House production.
You think Glass Books was a good financial decision for the island?
I know where you're going to go with this, and I do agree. I heard that too. And
He has a point.
there's a hole in the story, okay? He was trying to do a nice thing. You're trying to
But why?
You're trying to stain his good deed.
He should be like fending for himself, trying to like make himself a life. He's got nothing, and he gave it all up for a bookstore in the middle of nowhere.
It's because he's a good guy, man.
Okay,
Good guys finish last.
good guy.
Stanley Ipkiss.
They do.
Roadhouse.
We will do a deep dive into Roadhouse.
Yeah, we need to.
You're putting me in a position to defend Roadhouse, which I don't feel. I feel cornered here. Like, I don't know why I'm defending it. It's not going to win a best original screenplay, but I'm just saying it had some cool scenes.
It might
like,
win a Crunchy for Cringe Award.
All right, here's what bothered me about Roadhouse. Do you want to get into it? Like, do you want to like side of beef here?
Yeah, I'd be.
Improper use of CGI. Why do they have to like speed things up right before a punch or someone gets hit by a truck? It's like the comedic take when they do that stupid thing in the Seth Rogen movies where they like airbag into the ceiling and it's like sped up. It's like, it doesn't need that. It just bothered me. They were trying to make it extra cool, extra Roadhousey, and
They missed.
Kind of missed.
Well, I got to say, Wendy Williams' toes made me want to go and get a pedicure, and I've never had one before. So.
You know, she has a condition. Her feet are fucked up for a reason. But let me tell you, I got a thing about feet, and like those fucked up feet fucked up my nightmares. Like my sleep was affected for minimum 3 nights because that feet and greet.
The things that come out of her mouth, I mean, there's like, which part are we talking is the cringe?
You go from feeling bad for her to like, no, she's doing this.
Yeah.
And
It
she's
was
like,
brought on upon herself. I don't wish that on anybody, but like the people that are close to her, she is like,
It made me feel small. Like I crawled into underneath the couch cushions after she was talking to that girl about how she needed lipo. I was like, oh, God. You need lipo.
Cringe factor.
Cringe.
She pointed out like 3 areas immediately in her body to get
lipo. As she's laying on the bed,
no more brothers, Diego.
melting into her chair.
No more brothers, Diego.
I agree. Getting back to the nominees, I agree that it's going to come down to Wendy Williams or Corey Feldman. We haven't dipped into Corey's cringe. It's either like a planned cringe approach to social media.
It's not planned. This is Corey Feldman. What's tough is that he has a lot to say. We've like discussed Corey Feldman. We're talking this year. He's still on stage. He's touring hard.
He's working.
But if I watch another video of him on stage, I mean, it is. It's tough. Please tell me you saw the Jerry O'Connell Stand By Me, where they're like holding hands, they're like singing it. And Corey Feldman's playing.
I have not. They're on stage. Jerry O'Connell's on stage.
Yes.
Yeah, he's hosting a show, and
Jerry O'Connell was like sweet. Was like, okay, I'll have Corey come on. He'll perform and
do a little ditty.
Just watch the video and tell me that should not be a nominee for the Cringe Award.
It's pretty bad. It is a tough song, but that was pretty bad. I feel like he gets a pass this year, though. Like he's not going to win this one just because he said a lot of things in the past that were cringy. Turned out most of it was true.
Oh my God, they're singing "Stand By Me."
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Now performing the classic "Stand By Me," Corey Feldman and Jerry O'Connell.
Shit. I'm embarrassed already.
Wait till you hear the opening riff.
Karaoke night here at the bar.
With a slideshow.
I bet Corey put together all
The
of those.
dance moves.
When the night has come and the land is dark,
Stop.
and the moon is the only light we'll see.
Look at Jerry just trying to be all sweet, going with it. He's like,
No,
okay.
I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid.
He's getting there.
Just as long
That's not it.
Not it.
I take it back. I take it back. We're not there.
He thought he was there.
Wait.
We're further away than I thought.
darling, stand
Oh,
by me. Oh, stand by me.
that happened.
That happened.
I'm so glad you saw that.
All right,
I
so-
couldn't be the only one.
That is Exhibit D for the Corey Feldman case for the Cringe Award. We are on our second award. So are we leaning towards Corey or Wendy? I was going hard on Wendy feet until I saw that, and that just
No.
reminded me.
Nah.
No,
It-
it's Wendy
it's Wendy.
because
Really?
it's 100% Wendy.
the eyes, the feet, the attitude. It's Wendy.
Dumb. He said it. What else you gotta say?
There it is.
There it is.
Wendy Williams with the Cringe Award.
Come on down.
Okay, come on
Congratulations.
down. She didn't know what the Oscars was. I'm not sure she's gonna have
Yeah.
a full grasp of the Crunchies.
Don't worry about it, Wendy. It's okay.
What if she's just like that into the Crunchies that she doesn't even know of the Oscars? Like,
She's like, "Oh, Crunchies? That's a different story."
Yeah.
yeah. I will get dressed up and go down for that.
She wouldn't even care what award. She'd be like, well, you won a Crunchy. Congratulations. Like, we don't even need to tell her. It's
Yeah.
a Cringe
Here's how
Award.
you pitch it to her team. Wendy, what if there was an award that you could accept right there from your couch?
She'd be like, you mother.
You get me. You low life piece of shit. I don't know when you started working for me, but you are fired.
And you're fat.
And
I can tell by your voice. that you're fat.
you can hear it in your throat.
good thing you're
vocal
audio
cords.
only because you're fat. They're never the best, but they're far from the worst. Here are this year's nominees for the Kept My Attention Award.
Oh, classic.
No Hard Feelings, Naked Jennifer Lawrence. Ricky Stenicki, John Cena, Zac Efron, Andrew Santino. Pain Hustlers, Emily Blunt and Chris Evans. Argyle, that had Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Henry Cavill, Samuel L. Jackson, Catherine O'Hara, and Bryan Cranston. B-Cran. Just for biscuit, I think we should throw Roadhouse in there. Jake Gyllenhaal and Connor McCringy. It still kept my attention.
You watched it.
Yeah, I've seen it too many times. I had to watch it like 4 times in 3 days.
Remember that?
Yeah,
No wonder
remember
you
that.
don't like it. No wonder you think Conor McGregor's the best part.
Yeah, I do actually.
You only appreciate Connor's stuff until the third or fourth watch.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite, really.
No, I like this one. I feel like Ricky Stenicki.
Totally.
I love the lineup. Cena's been growing on me, but for some reason I can see it having a low Rotten Tomatoes rating for some reason.
Hey, this is the Crunchies.
Yeah.
Tomatoes have no effect on its crunchy status.
I know.
right.
I think they don't see the value that we do.
I see. It didn't keep their attention as well as it kept yours.
Yes.
Blake and I both agreed that that's John Cena's best role.
Without question, his best acting.
It
By
has
a
been his
long
back,
shot.
and the writing was good for him and the movie, so I feel like it all worked out well.
He was the funny parts.
He was.
All the sexual covers that he did on stage. Those were great.
Of
Yeah,
course,
they
we
were
can
great.
Those
appreciate that.
were great. I would tend to think it would be Ricky Stenicki. I really liked Pain Hustlers. And Argyle, it kept my attention. But I'm going to have to agree. Ricky Stenicki,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was funny.
It was funny.
It was funny,
And you
but
would
we don't get a good
randomly
comedy now.
recommend it to someone. You know, you're like, if you just need something funny to laugh, Ricky's Stenicki.
Turned out to be my favorite movies. Like I had real low expectations coming into that
I think
movie.
that was what it was good about it, because there was straight zero expectations.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh my gosh, this is funny. We had laugh
Really
out loud
fun.
moments,
multiple.
multiple.
You had multiples?
We had multiple.
And multiple O's.
It was a big night.
Like, I was fully prepared to turn that thing off less than halfway through.
Yeah.
No scroll, I would have not even given it a chance.
No scroll.
All right. Let's shift to real world, but stay with keeping our attention and discuss Bombshell Accusation of the Year. Broken glass everywhere.
If it ain't about the money puff, I just don't care.
Bad boy for 20 to life. Diddy. Holy crap.
Oh, gosh.
What was once a wild conspiracy is now a wild investigation. Orlando Bloom accused Jay-Z of having a vagina. Cat Williams dropped a whole accusation album. His hit single was Kevin Hart is an industry plant. Dan Schneider accused of being Creepolodian on Quiet on Set. Lastly, we have Otani. In the accusations, he and or his interpreter were gambling on games. I bet there's more to the story.
This is what I get. These accusations.
But I think it's going to come down to some Cat Williams shit or Diddy because it's fresh.
Cat spilled some hot ass tea. But Diddy takes the cake for the
Yeah, like Cat Williams had like an hour and a half, 2 hours of dropping some shit. And
Dan stomped on that. Dan Schneider would have definitely been the next. But then Diddy out-Danned that. That was...
He did. He really rose.
Diddy's on top for
He rose
that
to the
one.
top. Like, we only know the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, there's so
That's
much
true.
more coming out.
And this is going to keep going. They're going to use this as a distraction for as long as humanly possible.
In a weird year.
Starting Q2.
So are we going to go with Diddy?
I said what I needed to say, and it's clearly Diddy.
Blair has spoken. We haven't talked about any shows yet. Let's get into Comedy Series of the Year.
Yes, please.
Here are the nominees. Dave, Letterkenny, Bupkiss, The Righteous Gemstones, Only Murders in the Building. We'll throw in The Gentleman too, why not? I'm thinking Dave or Letterkenny. Dave, season 3, it was good. Letterkenny was the 12th and final season.
That's sad.
No.
That's sad. Bupkiss, that was the first season. Should be a second. That was good. Pete Davidson.
Heard it was good.
And I really liked The Gentleman.
You do like The Gentleman.
It should have been more. It should have been more under Kept My Attention award, but we'll throw it here under Comedy Series of the Year. I don't think it's going to win.
No, I like where you're at with Dave and Letterkenny.
Yeah, it's Letterkenny.
It is Letterkenny.
You know, we did it for Schitt's Creek in their final season. It was just the right thing to do, and I think we do that here as well.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
They just deserve it. Here to accept the Crunchy for Comedy Series of the Year, please welcome Squirrely Dan himself, K. Trevor Wilson.
Thank you very much, folks. It's a real honor to win this Crunchy. But I got a Crunchy. It's really nice to accept the Crunchy for Best Comedy Series on behalf of Letterkenny. I know that Jared Tiso would be very proud to let me accept the award on his behalf because he doesn't like to talk publicly in front of people. So on behalf of Jared and Jacob and the producers and the casting crew of Letterkenny, we want to thank you very much for this Crunchy honor of being Best Comedy Series. And thank you very much to everyone who's watched us over the last 12 seasons. And we hope we brighten your day just a little bit every time you tuned in. Thank you so much.
That was awesome. And a great acceptance speech for our first.
Yes.
That was really good. He set the bar really high.
So glad that he was able to accept for Letterkenny. It was the absolute perfect award for them this year.
You know how they say there's no such thing as too much of a good thing?
I do.
Well, here are the nominees for the Random Collab of the Year.
Oh, yes.
How about McDonald's and Krispy Kreme getting together, doing burgers and donuts under one roof?
Whoa.
Timeless Vape and Taco Bell with the Baja Blast Vape.
Whoa.
Coming up next with Cinnamon Churro. But right now, you can get a Baja Blast
Smokable Mountain Dew.
Smokable Mountain Dew. Cheech and Chong and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Seeing the videos everywhere.
So cool. You can play as Cheech and Chong, kill people with blowing smoke through the barrel of your gun into their face. Anytime you shoot somebody that turns them into a giant joint,
They cough and fall down.
that's fire. IHOP and Applebee's.
Apple hop?
Apple Hop. Margaritas and pancakes.
There's nothing more American than Krispy Kreme and McDonald's coming together.
True.
The McCrispy Kreme sandwich. I'll have a McCrispy double quarter pounder with cheese.
People are having a blast with that Baja vape, though. There's like strong T-Bell people that will like.
If they would have went regular Mountain Dew, I'm a buyer for life. But they had to go Baja Blast.
And that's where they lost you.
Yeah, they lost me on that one. But
Maybe they'll get you with the churro.
I think it's a better vapable flavor. I'm sure they tried
Probably.
original and was like, you know what? It's
Tastes
a little
like
weird.
it tastes like melon balls.
It just tastes like vaped dew. Yesterday's dew.
Of course, it's Cheech and Chong in Modern Warfare 3.
It's obvious.
You think so?
It's so good if you see the videos and how that add-on is and them blowing the smoke. I mean,
It's enough to make me want to go and buy a PS5 in the game and pay for the yearly subscription just so that I could be them.
I would 100% get that add-on.
We know it's not IHOP and Applebee's. That's just a weird collab. If you want IHOP, go to IHOP. If you want Applebee's, why do you want Applebee's?
Could just be like, we're now serving breakfast.
Applebee's, it's like Chili's, but worse. Things aren't going well. Let's bring in the pancakes. It's the same thing with McDonald's. They're like, we're listening to our customers. We understand you are upset about our price hikes. We hear you. And here's our solution. Krispy Kreme donuts.
How do you say no to that? We'll see you in the morning.
Consider this problem resolved.
And they're just going to loss leader it, give you a free donut with every, Mickey D purchase. So it looks like they're both moving units.
Yeah.
It's Cheech.
Yeah.
It's Chong.
All right.
We had to
We had to chew on it for a minute.
figure it out.
All right. I like that. Our next award is Leaked Masturbation Video of the Year. Drake's Helicopter, Leaked Masturbation Video of the Year. Let's start getting into the categories unique to the Crunchies and what's become some of our most coveted awards. We add a new category every year, and this year's new addition is the Walter White Award for Good Chemistry. Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell from Anyone But You, Theo James and Kaya Scolodario from The Gentleman, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling in Barbie, Emma Stone and that guy with the hook for an arm in Poor Things, Jeremy Allen White and his cigarette, The Bear, or The Iron Claw, everything he's in. No one takes shorts off the girt like Jeremy Allen White. The way he can milk a stooge.
It painted the picture, and now, like, thinking of it in my head,
It set the table for some amazing memes, too.
It did.
That Brian from Family Guy meme is my favorite. Where he's out front, all jacked, smoking cigs, looking all sexy. That's funny.
that's the winner for me.
I can't disagree. I mean,
2 out of 3 wins a Crunchie around here. I love it.
I've been wearing white t-shirts ever since.
Who won the Crunchie last year for the Walter White Award? That was Jeremy Allen White and his cigarette.
Those two were getting
It's going to be hard to beat next year.
It's a good category.
It is.
We've been giving out this award since the very first Crunchies, and it celebrates the celebrity most talked about and organically brought up on the podcast over the last season. Here are this year's nominees for the Miles Teller Award. Cat Williams. We had a whole sode on celebrity beef after that and discussed him in at least 2 of our interviews. Shane Gillis, popular around here, brought up several episodes by several guests. Mark Norman, brought up all the time, almost came on himself to crunch down. He also had that weird PR stunt by Donald Glover's new company. Margot Robbie, not necessarily for Barbie, but she's often in our games. We also heard some great stories about her this season, especially from the interview with Adrienne Martinez. And Pete Holmes. Not only did a few of our guests bring him up organically, but we had him on this season as well and even spent New Year's Eve with Pete.
Yeah.
I'll be Holmes for Crunchmas. It was a huge success. Pete was great.
He's stealing it for next year.
It's going to be hard to beat Pete.
I was gonna say, I think Pete might be my vote. I mean, we did bring up Cat Williams
A lot.
a lot, and with
And
a
even
few different
before
guests.
Club Shay Shay, I mean, the guy's just always in conversation. So I feel like he's got to be the front runner.
He's the front runner.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's Cat Williams.
If we're gonna go based off like pure Miles Teller Award, like statistics, and this is
That's pure Teller.
Cat wins.
Well, good call. Okay. I don't want to assume our listeners get why we name each category after a person. There's a story behind each one. Early on one episode, we were having a conversation about the movie Joyride. And for some reason, I couldn't think of Paul Walker's name. And I said, you know, the good-looking one. And without a beat, Blair said, oh, yeah, Steve Zahn. It's a movie about two brothers played by Paul Walker and Steve Zahn. And Blair totally knew who the hot one was. Funny man, Steve Zahn.
Always had a Steve Zahn thing.
So, to recognize the year's most attractive person in the industry, here are the nominees for the Steve Zahn Award.
So hot.
Glenn Powell. We thought after Top Gun Maverick, Miles Teller would be cemented as the new top dude, but the people have spoken, and it's Glenn Powell who's not that dude. He's the new John Hamm, the new Brad Pitt. He's behind me, isn't he? You'll continue to see him in everything, including the Twister sequel coming out this summer.
Whoa.
Anna de Armas. She very well might be the overall most attractive person, period. Still in high demand and about to have some big projects drop as well. Ryan Gosling, giving off good kinergy this year, won a Grammy and performed at the Oscars. Travis Kelce won a Super Bowl again.
Bang to Swift.
Successful podcast
Again.
and dating one of the most famous people on the planet. No big deal. Sydney Sweeney, she's in everything. Her boobs are falling out of everything. She's everywhere.
For me,
For you?
I don't know. I mean, it's a tough call, but it's obviously Sydney and her Sweeneys. You can't have, like, taken everything by storm. I mean, you tell me one person this year that now doesn't know who she is. Even if you're like, oh, I don't know, what is she from? Like, you haven't seen those Sweeneys.
We've all had a good look at those Sweeneys.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know? Sure. For the Steve Zahn Award, like, those Sweeneys aren't going to take
We're
it.
talking about like the nuts and bolts
Again, grading
of the Steve
rubric
Zahn Award.
here.
Blair's really sticking to the program this year, and I
Yes.
like it.
It's what the ethics of the award itself. We have to remember which award
ethics.
Steve Zahn is the hottest of the year.
Blair keeping the Academy in check. All right, well, I mean, I'm sold. I'll take a pair of Sweeneys. Next up, we have the Will Smith Award for projects that really slapped. Dune 2. The only thing better than Dune 2? Dune 2 chicks at the same time. Right? I double dosed our mom with some mushroom gummies and took her to go see it.
Yes. She loved it.
Saltburn. Wasn't expecting this to slap, but history has shown the best slaps aren't the ones we see coming. This was different and weird. Dumb Money. The story is stranger than fiction. The GameStop short squeeze and the Reddit degens sticking it to the hedge fund billionaires. It slapped all my boxes. Oppenheimer. There's a reason why it won Best Picture. Christopher Nolan makes bangers, and this lived up to the hype. Napoleon. Don't sleep on any movie with Joaquin Phoenix. This had some very memorable scenes, a good balance of action and drama. They even threw in some comedic sex scenes just to ensure you're not paying attention to Joaquin's lack of any accent. Not a whiff of French detected. Even a poorly attempted British accent would have been better than no accent. He played it as American as John Wayne, but still pulled it off. Bicorn hats off to you, sir. Honorable mention for Boys in the Boat, based on the true story, the rowing movie. They already made a porn parody that looks promising. Boys in the Throat.
You know if it's good. You
No
know
Diddy.
it's good
No-
when there's
no
like
Diddy.
immediate porn parody. I feel like Griselda should be on the board here for like a nice little project that slapped.
You want to put in some Griselda?
Some Sofia Vergara, changing it up a little bit.
I like the Grizz. Throw in a show. It slapped. At the very least, it kept our attention.
It did.
Revisit that pile. Replace Roadhouse with some Griselda.
You know?
Because it wasn't doing it for Biscuit. Only Conor McGregor. I want to say Oppenheimer, but it's got to be Dune 2 or Saltburn. Saltburn was like weird and good and
Which
memorable.
Just slapped you. I feel like that one, like you're most passionate about the slap. So if we're gonna go off like the true award, the way that you speak about Saltburn.
It's hard with Dune 2 because I was under performance-enhancing drugs. Like if I saw Saltburn or Oppenheimer while gummied, I might have been like, whoa!
Part in your hair.
Dune 2, really good stuff. No, you're right, Saltburn.
You spoke with way more passion about Saltburn.
I did, didn't I?
You wanted to with Dune. I think because you feel like it's not fair to say Dune 2.
I do.
You got better jokes for Dune 2, but it's Saltburn for the win.
Man. A couple years ago, we joked about adding the Michael Fassbender Award, recognizing the juiciest dong in Hollywood. We modified it to acknowledge those displaying extreme big dick energy throughout the year, and here are the nominees. Juno Temple, Ted Lasso, and Fargo, more in the pipe. Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, he's on another level. Timothée Chalamet, 2 big movies in Wonka and Dune. Jeremy Allen Stooge, The Bear, The Iron Claw. Zendaya, Dune. Challengers is about to come out, which will do well for sure. This is tough.
Huge dong. That's Zendaya.
I have a vote. Okay, if they were all in the same room, Cillian Murphy wouldn't give a shite. His BDE is just like far bigger than everybody else's.
You're showing your work.
Yeah.
Like, you really put in the effort this year.
Killing it right now.
He makes great memes too,
Yeah,
and he
does.
just doesn't give a shit. That's a big part of BDE.
Exactly. That's
Yep.
why you're here. That's why I feel like he deserves it.
Juno and Zendaya, though.
No, they're
Both
all
up.
they're great nominees. Like I love this whole category so much.
Cillian Murphy, wow, not only does he win Best Actor at the Oscars, but he's going to take down the Michael Fassbender Award in the
Yeah.
Crunchies.
Whoa.
It's a big year for Cillian. Whoa. Last year, the award that was added to the ceremony was a little more on the sentimental side, honoring those most deserving of a Hollywood comeback, which we appropriately named the Rick Moranis Award. Here are this year's nominees. Sean Weiss. Everyone loves Goldberg. Not only was he one of our best guests this season, but everyone is rooting for him, and we are all happy to see him turn things around. Amanda Bynes. She's doing these TikTok videos, and especially after Quiet on Set, everyone just wants to show her support.
Give her a hug.
Lindsay Lohan. She's been trying to come back for years, and you know what? She's getting close.
She is.
Elvis hair.
It reeks of comeback in here. She's one good, meaningful movie part away.
Yeah.
Adam Scott, don't fuck with my nut, Brennan. He was everywhere for a minute and due for another resurgence. Tyler says Dennis Leary is due for a comeback.
When did he leave?
But he also said Dustin Hoffman was due.
Yeah, get out of here.
He takes who we should be offering a Lifetime Achievement Award, the best ever to do it, and say, where have they been? Tyler's What Have You Done For Me Lately award.
Like Dennis Leary, like needs to. He's done 15 projects a year.
What are you talking about? Guy hasn't done a project in 15 years.
No.
He was a firefighter for like 3 seasons on some shit.
For
but
3 decades on
Yeah,
some
that
shit.
was like a long time.
he is a fucking movie star. He does
Rescue
not.
911? Everyone watched that.
He needs to be on the big screen.
Draft Day, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary played the coach.
That was 3 years ago.
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4 or 5.
It feels a little bit
Feels
farther
a
away
little
than that.
2019. Getting some 2019 vibes. But still, he's been around.
He got a job on
You see
that
him?
once. Yeah.
No, he
See
just
him?
needs a steady stream of Leary, and he's just feeling it right
he's,
now.
he's a leading man.
There's no comeback for Leary. Like, he's been around, been there.
Costner
Still
was
there.
standing on his nuts that entire movie.
He was.
He didn't let Leary be Leary at all. He got Costnered.
Don't clip those wings.
Costner takes up a lot of room.
He does.
Sean Weiss is the clear winner for the Rick Moranis Award.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He's proven it. He's out there doing comedy. He's funny as hell.
And he's
Everybody
still
loves him.
an amazing actor.
He's
now.
a great actor. He just gets it. You know, there's just people that have like pure talent. He's one of them, and everybody's rooting for him.
I'm tempted to call him and tell him that he won the Crunchie.
What award did I get? You got the Rick Moranis Comeback Award. So glad you asked.
Okay, we can't call him.
Blair really brought us back to earth. So when I win,
I'm just imagining like poor Sean's like fuckers.
comedian of the year, the Rick Moranis. Cool.
Everybody wants to see more Sean Weiss, and that's just the end of it.
Next year, we're adding a lifetime achievement category, the Dustin Hoffman Award.
Yeah, thank you. The Lifetime Achievement with the Dustin Hoffman Award.
The D-Hoff. Next up is Flop of the Year. Here are the nominations for the year's biggest disappointments, taking us on a real floptastic voyage. Asteroid City. Tried twice to sit through Flop City, not Wes Anderson's best effort, and it just insists upon itself. Madam Web. Holy flop. This was the Morbius of the year. Did you see that? I never saw it because
No.
it was hated on so much. Looked like a real floppy seed muffin. Leave the World Behind. This should have been good, but I heard they recently added more flops to it. A real missed flop opportunity. The Flash. This won on paper for box office bomb. You take away the Michael Keaton cameo, and this is a real flop on pop. Expendables 4, Sly likes to take every franchise 1 or 2 movies too far, and this is just a streaming pile of flop. A little flop of horrors down there at the flop market. Nice batch of floppy joes this year. Flash won on paper, Madam Web won in everyone's hearts.
Madam Web had like more off-screen drama than the on-screen, I think. But Leave the World Behind was like literally a floptastic voyage, and with all that foreplay, and then it just leaves you all floppy with no ending. It's like, I don't understand. I was here for it, and like, yes, we're getting there, we're going, yes.
Get it up, get it hard.
Oh my
Get it
god,
hard.
I'm so excited to see what
Floppy.
happens. I can't wait. And we're flopped.
It just flopped right out onto the table.
So Leave the World Behind. I mean, Asteroid City. Let me tell you, that sucked.
It was god awful.
It really sucked. Like, The Flash had some redeemable
I didn't hate it.
moments.
I didn't hate it.
Like, I didn't hate it.
It didn't really do anything either way for me.
Are we going with Leave the World Behind? For that ensemble to flop,
You're gonna like focus feature us.
Got a real opportunity
No
there.
ending, and just like bring us to the brain to flop us out. Like,
Blair, on point tonight. Where last year's meme of the year was clearly Wingstop, this year it's all about the Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't even think there's much of a discussion
no,
to be had.
that's all
Yeah.
that needs to be said.
We just needed to recognize it. All right, let's jump into Industry Plant of the Year. We could have a discussion about this. Everyone's talking about this Ice Spice. Seems very planty.
Never heard of her before, and now she's everywhere.
Planted.
Planted.
Multiple people would agree that she was planted, and she was doing all the signs and all the things when she was just randomly by T Swift. It looked a little plant-like.
It's true. And speaking of Super Bowl, her on guitar, I feel like she's kind of planty as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been talking about her being a plant.
Yes.
Same with that Bobby Altoff.
So planty.
It just reeks
She
of
came out
plant.
of nowhere and then just had.
You know, I didn't
all
like
the
her
people.
at first. I didn't get her appeal.
She's got a
I didn't
shtick.
like her approach. I didn't like it. Then I saw her outside of her character talking about the character.
For sure.
Give respect where it's due. She put her own money up and said, I will fly to you.
Yeah.
Like, to do it in person. And I heard because of that, she's getting divorced.
She is. She's full divorce now.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
She is single.
So the husband saw that
So-
Drake D too and was like, oof.
Yeah, how can I get
Yeah,
I
he
guess
saw,
that's it.
yeah,
That's
he
it
saw the
now.
helicopter vid. And he
Yeah,
was like,
I
you know
was
what?
like,
Well,
You can keep her.
you can keep her.
I don't want her now.
Can't take it back.
What am I going to do with this?
Desecrated her body. Can't take her home.
So if she's going to be a part of like Divorce of the Year, we could throw in Sofia Vergara and
Oh,
what's
Joe.
his name?
Big Joe.
And then just today it came out Sacha Baron Cohen and
Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher.
Chance
I
the Rapper,
love
too,
them.
and his wife.
I like how we interjected in the middle of our nominees for Industry Plant of the Year. We get on to like Divorce of the Year. We wouldn't.
That was a quick
We wouldn't make
transition.
for a very good like award show on TV. It's like,
The ADHD
Like,
award.
so am I accepting for my divorce of the year, or am I
Wait,
accepting?
what did I
for-
win?
What is this?
What did I win?
Oh, you were the industry plant of the year.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Fuck.
No, I think no, that's Bobby, and she wins both awards.
Kevin Hart. I mean, per Cat Williams, that was
Ooh.
that was a very big.
That was a bold statement.
Yeah.
Is an accusation.
I feel like what's that
Brian
called?
Callen told us that he was like worked his ass off.
Yeah, and statute of limitations. That's what I was trying to think of. He's been doing it for long enough. He's not a plant. No, he can't win it this year for being a plant.
That's true.
10 years ago, maybe, but
Bobby.
Just the allegation doesn't mean
Yeah.
that, you were planted a long time ago.
Yeah,
Bobby's a fresh plant.
yeah, you're a full-grown fucking plant. Like Bobby's a seed.
Just starting to sprout.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm fucking confused, but I'll take it.
So Bobby's taken down industry plant of the year.
Definitely.
All right. Well, the best is yet to come, at least we hope so, when discussing our next award, which is most anticipated of the year. What we're most excited about that hasn't even come out yet. Civil War comes out like next week, but still, it's not going to be as good as we want it to be. But the idea of a Civil War happening right now, everyone's thinking about it,
Yeah.
and to make a movie about it, dangerous and brilliant. Kirsten Dunst and her husband, Jesse Plemons, he's in it.
They're married?
Yeah, they're married. Whoa. You didn't know that?
No.
Blair.
That's a couple I could be on board with.
They played a couple in, I think it was the second season of Fargo.
Oh, I love this.
I think that's where things happened for them. So you can imagine like little Jesse just cranking it down to some Bring It On. Now he's just sitting there,
Smoking his Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. The next night, Bring It On, squeezing herself into some cheerleading outfits.
She brings out her Jumanjis. Wants to play a game. It's your turn.
do, 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 do.
Throws the
You
dice.
go hide in any room of the house. I'll come find you. All right, so yeah, Civil War. That's gonna be good. Deadpool and Wolverine, Twisters,
Oh, my
Beetlejuice
gosh.
2,
Yeah, there's a lot.
Gladiator 2, and now we're starting to see movie posters of Goonies. It comes out in 6 years from now, but when it does,
We can start talking about it now, though.
Gonna
it's
be
gonna be
good.
good. It's gonna be good.
Happy Gilmore 2.
Nothing's official.
It is official Netflix.
Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It'll be on Netflix.
I feel like all of our stuff's starting to get looked at now.
You know, one way or another. I feel like
Everybody
we should.
will see Twisters, but it won't be what we want it to be. No Bill P. I mean,
Why Twister was good was the like Philip Seymour Hoffman, Bill
Yes.
Paxton, Helen Hunt.
exactly.
Like that was just they're not going to repeat that.
No.
You know it's not going to be as good as the original. They never are. But I feel like this one's just definitely going to let us down. It'll be overuse of effects. We're going to be like, how did it look more realistic in 1996?
Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna be over CGI'd for sure.
You know, the tornadoes are going to be going 3 times faster than they should be and throwing people into walls
Ramp up
comedically.
the
And
speed.
CGI, I'm confused. There isn't an EF6. It only goes up to 5. Third.
Dude.
Got a lot of beef, Meg.
selling cars out there?
No.
Oh.
Shower's free.
I'm next.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
What's going to be the catchphrase? Son of a
Now
bitch.
Should be
you're
the
talking.
same.
Son of a bitch was
Okay.
the first one. What's
You
what
can't
do we
do
call
it
it?
again.
Will they do an ode to
To Bill?
son of a bitch?
Yeah, they will.
They have to throw in
No.
minimum
Yeah.
one son of a bitch.
No.
An intentional son of a bitch.
They're going
It
to do...
has to be intentional.
There's going to be one intentional son of a bitch, and then there's going to be 12 other, you've got to be kidding me, or something like that. What do you think it's going to be?
I will give both of you $100 if there's a single son of a bitch.
I think we make a drinking game out of it. I'm more interested in seeing you get hammer smashed face
There's,
during
what do you think it's gonna be
Twisters.
more than once? Or every time CGI can't explain what's happening, then I just drink as much as possible.
Yeah. Pretty excited about Deadpool and Wolverine. Huge Jackman.
Everybody's excited about that.
Yeah, not as much as Twisters.
Beetlejuice 2, that doing anything?
I
for you?
will definitely. Michael Keaton, get out of here.
It's gonna be great.
Like the obvious choice.
There's no twisters, but I'm excited.
I'm probably more excited for Beetlejuice, honestly. There's high expectations. It's all on Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
But
He still got it.
It's on the Keaton.
He's
But
still
he
got it.
does still have it.
He
And he
sure
will
does.
deliver. So I feel most promising that like that will be it.
Yeah.
Twisters is gonna let us down, where Beetlejuice will at least give us like
Yeah,
a little bit of what we need.
it'll tickle our buttholes.
And that's just what we're here for.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? We're gonna have like a raspier, deeper Beetlejuice, which I am excited
Love
about.
that, yeah.
But he's not gonna have the same Beetlejuice energy.
He'll ramp it up for Beetlejuice.
I think he's gonna be creepier and funnier, in like a more subtle kind of way.
Well, if that's anything based off of the teaser, so far I'm not impressed. The juice is loose. You're just gonna steal that from O.J. Simpson. Of all the things he could have risen up and said,
Yeah.
like
The juice is loose.
the
Nobody
juice is
thought that
loose.
was like, we may want to pick a different line for this one.
That's the low-hanging fruit you hear on
Yeah.
Something Crunchy every week.
You deserve better, Michael.
They're better than that. He's at Twisters. I'm at Civil War. I know I'm gonna be disappointed.
Beetlejuice too.
You're Beetlejuice too?
Yeah.
I gotta switch to one of you. I trust Keaton in that ensemble more
Right.
than the no-namers in Twisters too.
Exactly.
We're
Like, I
gonna
don't
be-
know what to expect at all. Like, there's gonna be no like, we gotta go. We got cows. There's gonna be none of that. Like, all
I
the
think
deliciousness that it had in the '90s. It's not gonna have any of those son of a bitches. I bet none
I
of
think
that.
we do have a son of a bitch. We do have a cow.
There's not even gonna be one.
I
There's
bet-
not even gonna be one.
I bet not only do they do an ode to the cow scene, it's like
no
on steroids.
Yeah.
We see a bunch of cows flying.
Oh
It's-
my god!
it's a
CGI
tornado
and
herd.
It is
walking out
cow-nado.
of
Yeah,
the
cow-nado.
theater.
Herd-nado.
It is cownado.
Stop. If there's one cow, that's like
No, there's gonna be a whole like 200 head.
Don't you
floating.
think that's like that? Why even have a sequel if you're not going to have fun with it?
Yeah. Well, there
no,
was
we
like.
won't get any of that.
Do you remember the triplets? The
We
the
got
wa-
twins.
And,
we got
triplets.
twins.
The third, or was it twins or triplets?
It was twins.
It was twins.
We got
It was
twins.
twins.
Yeah, the water spouts. Well, this one, fire spout.
Ooh, remember that?
Yep.
You're selling me on the juice.
I know.
I'm not selling you on the Twisted Sisters.
I'm pumped for it. I just know we're going to be let down. Like,
The best.
if they don't do all that stuff
Tyler's
with
so
the
butthurt
cows
about it.
and the son of a bitch, I'm going to be disappointed. And if they do it,
Yeah.
I'm going to be disappointed. I'll be like,
Aw.
oh, man.
I don't want Twisters to be like the greatest movie on earth. I want a son of a bitch. Like, I want all the cows.
Now,
I'm not gonna get it.
we no longer have Bill Paxton or Philip Seymour Hoffman. So it eliminates any cameos from them. But we do have Alan Ruck. We have Helen Hunt. We have,
And
what's her name?
What's his face?
What's his
Jonas?
face? What's her face?
Oh no,
Carrie
he
Hughes.
died in the first one.
Yes, Blair. Come on. Remember?
Yeah.
They tried to save him, and he was like, fuck you and your Dorothy. I'm going for it.
Yeah, 'cause I'm going straight in.
Dorothy will be back before cows and son of a bitch.
I think the whole plot centered around Dorothy.
Of course, that makes sense.
You
If
gotta-
you don't have Dorothy,
you gotta
then
build
really,
upon-
what are we doing?
Like, we're just going to go back to basics.
It's got to be Helen Hunt, man. The whole thing, right?
I don't think she's in it.
Don't tell me she's not in it.
She was on our movie poster.
That's all in my head. Well, yeah, because that's the only way that it sits well with me.
What was the name of ours? F5?
F5?
Yeah. Should have
Yes,
been EF5.
you know it's
but
EF5.
We called it F5.
Well, they called it F5.
They called it, yeah. Yeah.
We got it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Anybody seen an F5? Only one of us.
Finger of God. Everybody drops their silverware.
If she's not in it, I'm so pissed. We can't lose
She's not in it.
Bill Pax and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then like Helen's like, I just can't. Like, no.
We'll go Beetlejuice. Put a cap on it. Fuck. Blair, you're on fire.
Love it. For podcast of the year, we have. I feel like Bobby should obviously be brought up.
The Bobby Putoff show.
If she took home Plant of the Year, she might as well be in Podcast of the Year.
It
That's
was
weird.
for the.
It hurts,
Nominate.
but I get it.
I like that Bad Friends is still in nomination. I don't know if they're gonna win it this year, but I do like discussing. Dudesy
Nice.
Fantastic.
Good addition.
Is a great one.
Chad and Will Sasso.
Yes. Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
Hilarious.
Office Ladies.
Very good.
Jenna and Angela are killing it. But I think our winner would be New Heights with the Kelsey brothers because
That's your winner.
That's your winner.
Yeah. Speak for yourself,
Oh.
sir.
Your winner.
Excuse me. Who's your pick?
The clips I enjoy the most are from Bad Friends still. I still laugh at those
I
the most.
agree. I do laugh at those the most.
But as a whole show, and for this particular year, I'm leaning towards Shane and
Matt and Shane.
Matt and Shane.
oh,
It's one of those shows that it's so good and it's gone back so far. If you go back and listen to any of them, it'll be your new favorite show.
I wish our show was like that.
It is.
Don't go back to our shit.
I love when people are like, "Oh my god, I just listened to episode 48." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
I'm ready to delete our first 100 episodes.
Stop.
No.
The people love it, Blake.
Patreon. They could love it there.
Behind a paywall.
You have to pay extra to get our early shit.
Behind a $20 firewall.
Yeah.
No, I would happily give that out for like $1.99.
Okay, so do we agree? Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
That's my vote.
Me too.
I'm sold. I'm here for it, and I agree.
It needed to be addressed.
It did.
We'll end on a newly added category that was provided by a good friend of the show in the efforts to shine a light on the year's best documentaries. These are Carly's unsolicited doc picks of the year.
Yes.
Love Has Won, Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal, Time Bomb Y2K, The Program, and American Nightmare. Honorable mention for Murder in Boston and Jared from Subway. This is a strong list. It needs some quiet on set, but the essentials are there.
No, I agree with that setup. American Nightmare
That was good.
was wild. I also would like to add Bad Surgeon, Love Under the Knife.
We needed to incorporate some documentaries.
Oh, of course.
And there's no better name than Unsolicited Doc Picks.
Carly,
I genuinely
yes.
wish I could take credit for that name, but that was provided by one Carls Barkley.
What are your thoughts?
The program was interesting, but it wasn't better than American Nightmare. I haven't seen Love Has Won. She felt strongly about that one. I did see Murdaugh Murders. That was good. That was a while ago and I saw it, so like it's not as fresh. I still think Quiet on Set, pretty fucked up.
Talk about unsolicited doc picks. I mean, that might take the cake for that
The
one.
most unsolicited one
Yeah.
out of the list.
American Nightmare was so interesting though, and that was such
Yeah.
a fucked up case.
I can't
and
believe that was real.
they sat that kid down who just looked guilty as shit, and the guy's
He
like,
didn't help
my
himself
job
at all.
is to find out how you're guilty. I know you're guilty. I buried it. You find it. Oh man, no one is getting the City Slickers references. That's the second or third City Slickers reference that we've had tonight, and
You
I
don't
guarantee
think?
you, no one gets it.
I bet there's people that'll get it.
He's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, that's
No one is getting.
Everybody gets that.
Everyone
no
gets it.
way.
Everybody
Sure
gets
they
that.
do.
Then our audience is a lot older than I thought they were.
You go hide anywhere in the house, I'll go find you.
We've had 3 or 4 tonight.
If you tell me Billy Crystal's like on your top actors list, it tells me everything I need to know about you.
You're over 40. You're probably Jewish. 100% white. You probably work in
Guaranteed,
finance.
I'm going with American Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, everyone I talked to saw it, and it was such a crazy story. How it was handled.
Yeah, it was good.
This was a hell of a Crunchies.
It
you
was.
guys. Blair, you really shined tonight.
This was so much fun, y'all.
It's unlike you.
It's just not our normal flow.
This is a beautiful Crunchies.
Can't wait for the after party.
Yes.
Congratulations to all of this year's winners.
Yes, and everyone who isn't K. Trevor Wilson from Letterkenny, please call in, write in, film in to accept your Crunchies. We will reach out to the appropriate ones that we have contacts for.
Mm-hmm.
Did Pete win? Pete didn't win.
No.
No, Sean Weiss won though.
Come on.
Did.
Yeah, we'll get a video from Sean. If you're not following us on TikTok at Something Crunchy, what's the matter with you? Get involved and find us on Facebook as well. Don't forget to check out somethincrunchy.com, where you'll find every episode, our links for social media, and the Almighty Crunch Store, where you'll find all kinds of crunchy gear, showing that you are a proud citizen of Crunch Nation. This has been another episode of Something Crunchy, and as always,
don't ever forget to live your crunchiest life.
And be crunchy to one another.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and all that crunchy good shit. All episodes can be found at somethincrunchy.com and on all podcast platforms. Thank you for listening.
it was very Robert Downey Jr. He could have been worse, but not much.
Not much. You know how they say too much of a good thing? Wait, what did they say?
Hey, how are you? It felt forced.
Yeah, that wasn't your usual.
I pushed.
Those features were coarse.
I pushed.
Tough.
I pushed start on that.
I'd like to say fuck you to the Academy. I don't remember what that was.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was funny.
I remember that.
With all that foreplay and then it just leaves you all floppy with no ending. It's like, I don't understand.